What's up, everybody? I'm here, and I'll be with you in just a second. I want to give it a little time for the stream to get going, for people to show up. But until then, enjoy some of this scenery. Let's go back out to the Hawaiian Islands. Hello, Maui. Oh, it's the Grand Wailea. That is impressive. Soak that in for a second. Okay, now watch this. This is one of the coolest cameras out there. Underwater at the Maui Ocean Center. Oh, don't freeze up on me. This one's been having some bandwidth issues, I think, lately, but unreal to be swimming with the fishies. And the sharks, I should say, too. Speaking of sharks, let's go to Monterey. Ooh, a little overcast out there today still. It's a typical summer day though, right? Northern California, hot inland, or warm inland, I should say. But always cool out by the coast. I wonder if we can take a peek at Yosemite. This is always a hit or miss camera. There we go. Yosemite Falls. Snow is still melting, apparently. This is Q&A. So go ahead and jump right into live chat. I will be there in just a second. Take a look and see what you guys want to talk about. Truckee, California. The downtown camera is down, so let's visit the airport. Oh! My jet is waiting for me. Is that a citation? Looks like a citation from here. What else can we show you? Oh, there we go. I don't know what that is. I'd have to get a little bit closer. Looks nice up there, though. Clear skies, green trees, no clouds. Let's go way far away. Let's go many thousands of miles away. Oh, it's nighttime in London. There's the River Thames. I like how this camera goes all the way over to the London Eye. You'll eventually see it, as well as Westminster. All right, I'll give it a second, and I will see you in the live chat. So cool what they do with the lights out there. That is beautiful. At sunset. Which, by the way, is it 10 o'clock at night out there? And the sun is still not down. All right, welcome everybody to the live stream. I'll get that part of it going here in just a second. Turn that music off, give you something else, eventually give you an intro to this live stream. There we go. Let's see what we got. Oh, the chat. The chat has already started. I like that. We will get into that. Let me know what you're thinking. Want to talk baseball? Do you want to talk hockey? You want to talk anything else relevant or important? I'm here to do it. Right? Wait. Now. Oh, there we go.
Broadcasting live and worldwide. Here's Brody Brazil.
I'm not good at pushing buttons today, which is bad when you're live streaming all by yourself. I am a game is star. What? Hello. I am a game is star. What are you telling me right there? What is that? What is that handle? Felix! Yo! Good to see you, Felix. Do I listen to Pogo? P-O-G-O? I don't know what that is. I'm not trying to dismiss it. I just really don't know. Chilling with Brazil. How would you characterize Bay Area weather for those who've never been, especially when it's normally warm/hot but can be cold? The most interesting phenomenon to me in the Bay Area is in the summertime, just like where we're at right now, July and August, these 2 months in particular, where the temperature can basically change with every mile you drive towards the coast. For example, I live, 20, 30 miles inland, I guess. Maybe not that far as the crow flies, but as you drive out from the coast. Anyway, where I live and my, 40-mile commute from where my house is to work, the temperature could literally drop 30 degrees. It's always cooler out in San Francisco by the ocean, the marine layer, usually in effect. And that's the other thing, too. If it's been hot for a few days inland, and if you can see the fog out on the coast, you know that help is on the way, and that high-pressure system's not going to last forever. You can see the fog coming, and whether it hits later that day or that night or overnight, it's always such a refreshing thing. So probably the best way to describe it is that you need a jacket in summertime here in the Bay Area. Last night at the A's game, I was out there in left field the entire time. And yeah, 5th or 6th inning, I was like, all right, jacket's going on. And that's totally bizarre to most people across the rest of our country because it's hot, it's humid, overnight, never recovers. The temperature is just up and stays there. It greatly fluctuates in the Bay Area depending on where you're at. The closer you get to that coast, the more you're going to need a jacket or a hoodie pretty much year round. And that's the last thing I'll say on this. When I used to live out here in San Francisco, I'd never owned so many, hoodies and pullovers in my life. And I still have a ton of them. I have an excess of them because, now out in the suburbs, it's so much warmer for most of the days of the summer. I still wear them in the fall and winter, but I don't need them most of the time. Good afternoon, everyone in the chat. This is the Saturday Q&A live chat with yours truly, Brody Brazil. Oh, Michael, you're putting the script in for me. What's funny is people ask this a bunch. Where's your script for the pregame show? Where's your script for the postgame show? If they sit in the studio and watch us do a show and they don't know where the words are coming from, I'll tell you, the words are coming from right here. And I should also tell you in fairness that there's a rundown on the computer, so I'm following the structure, co-authored by the producer, and we're working together, and the producer will have some suggestions, I'll have some suggestions, so it's not like I'm just freewheeling it, right? I want to have our crew set up for success so that we know what's coming next, but for the most part, yeah, it's all ad-libbed. I have maybe read off of a teleprompter 5 times in the last 5 years, and a couple of them have been recently when we're doing Howard Terminal segments when I need to get it right. I need to do it on time. I can't blab on forever. I type it in and then I read it out. And sometimes you can't even tell that I'm reading off the prompter because I try and make it really natural. So, Michael, I'm sorry you're not hired, but it's not any fault of your own. Camille from the Netherlands. I love that. I always love that, to think that I'm here in San Francisco and you're thousands of miles away in Europe. That's awesome. Hello from the Netherlands, where it's probably like 10, 11 o'clock, something like that. Tom asking, what is going on with the A's? Are they moving to Las Vegas? Well, I can't promise you anything 100%, Tom. Sounds like do you want them to be there? I don't. I've made that very clear. I'm not a journalist in this. I am partial to where they stay, where they go, and what they do specifically. I would say right now, if there's anybody out there that's pulling for them to go to Las Vegas, the odds are they still exist. They're not great right now. Things are happening with Oakland. Things are happening at Howard Terminal. It's all right now between, there's no other focus. I mean, the County of Alameda has to be in on this later. The BCDC has to get back in on this with a permit. There are several lawsuits that need to eventually be settled. I mean, there's a handful of things all in the mix. But the biggest one right now is the A's and the city. That is the biggest piece going on. I've said before that this is the ALCS right now between the A's and the city of Oakland. But as you know in sports, sometimes the ALCS is harder than the World Series. So that's where we stand. I would say the A's have a 1-0 series lead in this round because they just were able to get more clarity on what the city council is going to do. They're not going to have any type of public referendum vote or even a public advisory vote to just stall and delay and confuse people. That's not going to happen. So, yeah, that's where it stands with that. Felix earlier with the music. This sounds like one of those chill travel background tracks. Yeah, well, so I can't play copyrighted music here on the stream. I would love to a lot of times. There's music I like that I would love to play here, but I'll get busted on that. So all of the music I have here comes from something called Epidemic Sounds or also Story Blocks. Is that right? Story Blocks? There's 2 music services that I subscribe to. Oh, before I get too deep into this live stream, I also want to share with you. I mean, you saw all of those. You saw all those very cool live shots to start off the stream here. This one in San Francisco. Whoa, come back. There you go. You saw this one in San Francisco. That's kind of the East Bay view. You can see probably what looks to be like Emeryville, maybe San Pablo up there. But obviously the Transamerica building as well too. There's this view, which pretty much looks at downtown. That's always a cool one. There's the Salesforce Tower. All of these provided by HD on Tap. And in the info section of this video, I have links to all of the other cameras, which you can take a look at your leisure. They have them all across Northern California. They've got them across the state. They've got them across the world. HD on Tap, I'm partnering with them to bring you some of these live streams, these live views during my live streams. And they're out of San Diego. They do a great job. They can outfit your company or your location with a live camera if that's something you're interested in. But they're providing us with these shots. And again, links to all of these live cameras. If you ever want to go back to these on your own time or you want to see what a sunset looks like later on from San Francisco, all of the links. Oh, it's in the description. I guess I got to get with my YouTube terminology here. All the links are in the description below. They've got them all over the place. They've got them. Let me see. There's another one here that I didn't go to yet, but we will now. Kauai. Ooh, is it a little overcast in Kauai? It is the Garden Island, right? So, you're going to get some precipitation, but I mean, that's something to just sit back and enjoy for a while. Even though you're probably not there right now, this is about the next best thing. Okay, let's go back to the old live chat. Whoops, wrong button, Brazil. You can hear me pushing the buttons. There we go. Mike saying, although the November vote resolution wasn't passed, I seem to pick up on hints that they were all leaning that way later on. Do I think it'll go that way eventually? Mike, I think I understand what you're bringing up here, and that is the Oakland City Council is kind of in the middle of this a little bit because the A's in the city don't yet have something to shake hands on in terms of two things, a development agreement and eventually a community benefits package. They need those things to vote on. And as much as we talk about any type of public advisory vote or referendum vote or even an ultimate binding vote by the city council, none of that can happen until something is agreed on by the A's and the city of Oakland that they would like to present forward to the city council to vote on. So to your point, I feel like what you saw the other night was only a little bit of maybe frustration on their part that they can't ultimately make a decision on this because there's yet anything to decide. They kind of know the framework. They certainly understand the EIR. They know what the project's all about. There's a lot out there, but they also are waiting on financial analysis that's going to be provided at the end of September. So they don't yet have every last detail to move forward with this, either responsibly or if they oppose the project. There's just not all the information out there. So I think what you are saying and what you are seeing is that they want to reserve the right to do anything still because they have yet to officially get the pitch, right? They've heard about it. They know what it is, but they don't know the precise numbers yet. They haven't seen it literally in ink, in black and white. They've seen it in pencil, or they've heard about it in pencil, and they want to protect themselves in the future. So to your point, I understand those hints that they were all suggesting later on. There's a possibility we vote on this, but once it becomes clear what the deal exactly is, I don't think there's going to be much more conversation on that. And I think that's all they're doing is they're just kind of protecting themselves for the unknown of what might happen, how it might go. Camille wants some microphone talk. All right. Well, let me know later on in the chat here, in which I'm probably way behind, but let me know specifically what you want. Where are we here? With the momentum in the BCDC vote and no advisory vote, when do I think shovels might be in the ground for Howard Terminal? Asking Scott Travis. Scott, I've still maintained the year 2027, probably more of a safe bet than anything else. I think that gives, the ultimate rest of this year, which things have to happen by the end of this year. You've got to have the city of Oakland making their decision, going their direction by the end of this year. And that brings you to 2023, where you'd have the county of Alameda hopefully signing on. You'd have lawsuits resolved or settled. You'd have the BCDC issuing a permit. You'd have those couple more things that need to take place, and that allows the rest of 2023 to get it all lined up. And so maybe by the end of next year, you start construction. 23, 24, 25. Yeah, I'm saying 27 in a sensible way. Maybe it would be before then. I think you run in. There are some timeout limits, by the way, of this project. The EIR and the BCDC vote. I think a lot of these things were contingent that construction even started by like 2025. So there's an ultimate date of which it wouldn't even happen. Like it's not even possible that it would start or that it would be ready by 28. So I think 27 is probably the safe bet. And I might be pleasantly surprised if it were 26. Hypothetically, but I don't think it would be even too earlier than that. I still don't know what Pogo is. Somebody help me out with that. Felix, yes, I am. I would still respond to a voicemail anytime. And I believe the number is, I don't have it. Do I have it available here? Maybe not. I thought I had a graphic, but I guess I can always put that up here. Boom. So I'm chatting in my own live chat. There's the number. If you ever want to call and leave me a voicemail, you can do that. If it's a good one, I will respond to it and make a video out of it. Okay, if I look up Pogo, I love it. Very EDM-ish. So, Andy, you know my style, right? All right. I appreciate that. Pogo. I'll check it out. Caker Girl. Wait. Hey, Bioti. Then she fixed it. What's up, Caker Girl? The Marine Lair. Oh, so I'm way behind in the chat here. Cody asking, what do I think of the Sharks draft this year and the new GM's trades? First off, I appreciate all of the effort and production and research and promotion and everything that goes into the NHL draft. But what I've found over the years is that, for the most part, the top handful of picks, they're notable. And then there's a certain mid-range of picks in the hundreds, and they'll make it. You watch. It's pretty amazing. And the biggest thing, though, is that in the NHL, it takes 3 to 5 years for your draft of this year to even pan out. And that's frustrating because other leagues have the opportunity where if you get drafted in the NBA, you're on the team most likely next year. Same thing in football. Baseball and hockey have it where it's just there's such a delay in the draft versus when that player can make an impact. I feel like I need to sneeze all of a sudden. What is going on? I don't think I have allergies. I'm sitting here in a air-conditioned room, but all of a sudden I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I do need some water. Maybe I'll do a water break in just a second. I just had lunch. Anyway, so what I was saying about the draft. It's important. Like, the draft is the future of teams. It's the future of the league, and it's got to be done right. I mean, look at every player. Look at how some of the best teams are built through their draft over the years. But the frustrating part is that it doesn't have immediate effect. And I know I'm not answering your question specifically, but I don't know. We will not know. Realistically, we will not know about the A's draft of this year for a couple years. And the other thing about it is, I really do like the fact that Mike Greer made a trade on his second or third day on the job, and it was just picks for picks. He gave the 11th pick to Arizona for 3 picks from the Desert Dogs in return, a low first rounder and 2 second rounders. Was that what it was? So I think there's a certain effect of a GM new on the job doesn't necessarily, I'm not saying feel comfortable, but they want to wait things out. They want to feel it. They want to feel it out before they make any moves. I like the fact that he's already got that one out of the way. Made sense. Do it. Okay, great. Because realistically, there are a lot of other important moves that probably need to be made for this team to have success sooner than later. It's going to have to be a little aggressive. So if that's any indication, I definitely like it. Felix, the last time you went to San Francisco, it was warm at portions of the city. It's a bit deceiving out here. You're in the sun long enough, obviously that'll change things, but it's overcast more than other places, that's for sure. Bob is talking about Howard Terminal getting sick of the bad actors trying to derail the project. There's a lot of people trying to do that. There's no doubt. Johnny, I saw your home run catch attempt / fail. Have you ever caught a foul ball? With the low attendance you've seen, you've been close a few times, but none so far. When I was a kid, I think it was Dave Winfield. It was an A's-Yankees game. Dave Winfield hit a foul ball in my seat at the game, in the second deck somewhere. And I believe how it went was my mom yanked me out of the seat when the ball was coming our direction. Landed in my seat. Somebody else picked it up, and I never got the ball. So I've never caught a foul ball at a big league game. I'm sure over the years playing baseball, foul ball came my way in the dugout or whatever. I'm sure, yeah. But at an actual big league game, never caught a foul ball. I would have loved to have caught that home run last night. It landed about 5, 7, 10 feet, but below me, off to the left. But the trajectory of it, as it was coming off the bat and I'm watching it the whole way, I'm like, this is coming right at me. I have to make a choice. And my heart kind of stopped and I'm like, am I going to break my hand catching this? Or should I do it for TV? Like, they're going to capture it. Like, this is going to be on video. If I can catch this thing, man, think of the clip that will make over the years. But I honestly, if I caught that thing barehanded, I'm pretty sure it would have broke a bone. Or I would have had a swollen finger. I'm pretty sure that would have been the case. Not to be confused with story. I was talking about story blocks earlier. Is there a story bots? Do I even want to know? Michael, how often am I at the Coliseum? For games, not very. And that's only because of the way we have it at work. They want us in the studio for the most part. I love being out there. I love doing the pre and post game out there in left field. That Golden Road landing is perfect for our shows. Nice backdrop. I like feeling the vibe of the game instead of, as I am here right now, I'm watching it on, you can kind of see the reflection on the glass over there in the conference room. Instead of watching it out of the corner of my eye here on an 80-inch screen. How about the A's, by the way? 3-2 lead in the bottom of the fourth. They were down 2-0 in this game, and they've scored a couple here off Framber Valdez. So the answer to your question, Michael, is not often for games, but I usually do stop by at least once a homestand to go watch batting practice, interview a player, show my face. To me, it's important to show up. It really is. To maintain connections, to have some insights, to get perspectives from the people that matter most, the people that you're covering. It is super important. Hello from Cape Breton Island. Cody, I'm sorry that I don't know exactly where that's at. Cape Breton. Now, I'm going to say that wrong. Cape Breton Island. All right. Wait, Puck Guy, are you in London right now, or you're saying you saw my live camera earlier from London? I'm confused, but hello and thank you for being here. Mitch asking if the A's get their stadium, is there any possibility that the organization will finally open up the pocketbook and spend some more money on proven quality players? Mitch, they've said they will. They've promised they will. They've said this on multiple occasions. And I understand that's one thing where you're like, I've got to see it to believe it. At this point, the question has been bluntly asked and the question has been directly answered. And I certainly think that, the position the team would be in is a totally different scenario than where they're at right now. So the answer is we're not there yet, but that's what's been planned and promised on a number of different occasions. Oh, so Puck Guy is actually in London. Puck Guy, I got to speed up here on the chat. What are you doing out there watching my live stream? You are thousands of miles away watching this? Here, hang on a second. Let me pull this up here. All right, we're going to go we're going to go live to Puck Guy in London. Eric, where are you, buddy? Are you on the London Eye right now? Are you swimming in the river? Puck Guy, talk to me. Where are you? Are you on that boat? Somewhere out there is Eric right now. And I don't know why he's watching this. I don't know why he's in London, actually. Hopefully I'm having a great trip. I mean, I don't know. I know why you'd be there because it's a great vacation destination. I haven't been to London since probably 12 years. 12 or 13 years. It's been too long, to be honest. I do love it there. I love London because it's different enough to feel like you're not at home, but there are enough things that make you feel like you're. It's a different version. Everything is just as a slight bit different to let you know that, ooh, this feels Feels cool. I'm not I'm not in California anymore. I'm not in the United States anymore. Looks like we've got a fire truck going across that bridge. Yeah. I say I miss going places, but I especially would like to get out to London sooner than later. I don't see Puck Guy. I don't see Puck Guy in the chat. If you're out there, tell me what you're doing out there. I'm really curious. Let's see what we got here. Whoops. I keep hitting that button and it's not the right one. My bad. There we go. How's the Saturday going? I'll tell you what. It's a quick turnaround from the night game last night to the day game today. Basically rush home last night, go to sleep, wake up, do some dad stuff this morning, rush to work. I'll be here all day. I'm doing the stream during the game, did the pregame already, got the postgame later. And we'll do it all again tomorrow. And I'll try and get some downtime and relax a little bit tonight, but I won't have many hours at home. So it's usually have an IPA or 2 or 3 and have some dinner and chill out as much as possible. Camille, do I use studio lights here in this little conference room setup? No, there's fluorescent lighting in the ceiling, kind of what you're seeing in the reflection right there. See those fluorescent lights? That's actually the reflection. There's two of them right there. There's one above me, kind of behind me, and there's one in front of me here. And that's it. I don't have any type of specific lighting set up in here. I've adjusted the cameras. I've picked this spot over about the last year, and obviously for the glass background too. But there's no special lighting in this spot. It kind of works out beneficially. I will say in my home studio, I have a key, a fill. I have a couple hair lights that shine from behind. Obviously, the walls have the colored LED lights on them. So here, no studio lights, but I'm always impressed. It looks good. It's kind of flat looking. There's a little bit of depth to it, but no studio lights here. Joel, thoughts on Greer's moves in the draft? You're excited. His draft was graded highly by The Athletic. They gave him a B. And, that's the thing, Joel. I just feel so unqualified, beyond the hype and the names. Yeah, of course, I'm aware of everything they did and maybe even a first pick for them that was a little bit risky, so to speak. In fact, I got an email the other day. Let me read this here. It caught my eye. Let me see here. Here we go. With the conclusion of the first round of the 2022 NHL Draft, BetCalifornia.com put together a ranking of the top 5 value picks and biggest reaches of the first round based on their prior average prospect ranking. So again, based on what? I mean, how they were thought of before. You never know how this is going to turn out. The Sharks' 27th overall pick, Philip Bystedt, finished first for biggest reach picks of the first round. So BetCalifornia.com says that Philip was the biggest reach pick of the first round. I mean, would you project him to go just a couple picks later? Maybe. They obviously like what they saw in the centerman. Drafted 27th overall. Is he 18 years old? From Sweden, right? Anyway, look, and also to say this too, I mean, let's go back in reverse. Mike Greer was officially introduced only a couple days before the draft. You had the feeling that they probably selected him and agreed with him, to come on and be the new GM, maybe only a couple days before that. He's only been at this, he got thrown right into the mix of this. So it was his draft. Yes, he was at the helm, but I think it was also important of everybody else, Tim Burke, Doug Wilson Jr., so many others that set him up for success. Oh, that was a great catch by Nick Allen. So many others that set him up for success in this draft. So I'm glad they made the hire before the draft so that he could put his name on it, put the stamp on it, officially get going, get his feet wet. But yeah. Camille, going back to production talk here, can you also use your U87 in this room, or does this microphone pick up too many reflections? That's exactly why I use this microphone, the Sennheiser 416. I use that here because it's very sensitive. I mean, you can see how I'm on this mic. I'm talking very close into this mic, closer than it's meant to be. But I'm doing that because if I get farther back over here, you can hear how this room is very reflective. So that's why I stay on the mic pretty well in here. Yeah, the U87 AI with its pickup pattern, it would be a little bit overboard in this room. You would hear way too many echoes in this room. So that's why I got the 416 on. Ace Fan Jim, longtime listener and watcher. Oh, first time chatter. Well, I appreciate you jumping in, Ace Fan Jim. And I appreciate you mutually for being here. That's awesome. Brody could partner with Rode microphones and have them release the Rode Brazil. Oh, really? Is that the way it is? Have I ever considered using a ribbon mic to get a bassier tone? Not necessarily. I mean, this mic, to be fully open, I mean, I'm running it through a PreSonus Revelator IO24, and I do have some EQ on this mic right now, and I do have some compression on this mic for levels, and I want it to sound a certain way. So if I turned all of that off, it would sound a bit different. I cut a little bit on the low end. I cut below 80 hertz, but I also boost at about 110. So I am trying to fill out the mic a little bit, make it sound more like a studio situation rather than, just have it be flat. So I do give a little EQ love. So I don't really need to have a different type of mic. Plus a ribbon mic would not be, I put this thing in a Pelican case. I transport it around. I need something that's durable, and a ribbon mic is not. What am I saying? Thanks, Felix, for the love. Hit the like button, subscribe, and I mean, I won't force anybody to hit that bell button, but I do appreciate that too. If you want to be here when I go live, that's the way to know it. How can I? Oh, I can't pin it there. Uh-oh. I realized I just can't move that. Good job, Brazil. Hang on one second here. Oh, I see. I can't really touch the chat right now. I will, I should have posted that earlier, Felix. I can't pin things right now because of the way it's set up here with this, the way the chat is going. Love seeing a deal with our BFFs, the Desert Dogs. How awesome is that? Timothy, checker. Oh, that's right. So here's the deal. There's nobody in our office, and there hasn't been for months. So some things I think I have to work and go. Let me go. I mean, the front desk is right around the corner over this other way. Thank you for reminding me. Let me go check on that, like literally right after this. There's a lot of stuff that's accumulated over there because nobody actually works here upstairs anymore. Or I don't see them ever. Puck Guy, where are you right now? I need to know. Oh, here we go. Check Twitter a few hours ago on the verge of walking on the Tower Bridge. Oh, nice. All right, I'm going to stalk you on Twitter. You're in the Chelsea neighborhood. All right. Maybe if you're there a couple months later, you would get to see a soccer match. Did walk the Tower Bridge. Your girlfriend's son's graduation this week. Oh, that's awesome. Well, congratulations to him for graduating. College in London. Sounds awesome. Let me see here. Am I going to the Czech to cover the Sharks opening games? Would you like to see that, Bob? What I'm saying is, could you write me a letter saying that you would really love to see that so I can show my bosses? I don't know yet. And, I'd be interested if the timing works out. There's also some things here, Howard Terminal going on. I know that'll happen probably at the same time. I don't want to miss that. I don't have the exact plans to do that as of right now. I'm interested, but it's not I won't be upset if it doesn't happen. It's kind of a reach. Those are long trips. They're fun, but they're obviously a lot of work and you got to make the trip worth it for work to do. And so I've done them before. Got to go to Europe before. It was about 10 years ago now. But yeah, I'm thinking about it. And I don't know the opportunity if that'll even be there, but it's on the radar. That's probably the best way to put it. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Johnny asking, with the Pac-12 being blown up, any chance of San Jose State joining? Hoping for your UC Davis Aggies. You need my inside persuasion and influence. Yeah, I've got a ton of influence. You know what? The Pac-12 network, they are literally right down the hall here on the second floor of our building. I think they take up the second story. Are they on the third floor too? I can't remember. Anyway, that's hard though. I mean, these schools have built themselves through, I would say scouting, but what they do and recruitment and all this stuff. If you're a Pac-12 level school, that's a major conference, and for San Jose State to join that in any fashion and be successful, it seems near like impossible, impractical, but also impossible. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see it in the long run, but could San Jose State compete with the Cals and Stanfords and Washington States and Oregon State and Colorado now? I mean, it seems daunting. Like when Colorado and Utah, right? They joined to make it from 10 to 12. Is that what it was? I think those schools, their size, their resources, it made sense. And UC Davis, I mean, that's, San Jose State and UC Davis are, let's face it, they are in a different athletics class. I'm not talking, by the way, about education here or anything like that. I'm talking about resources as an athletic school. And could San Jose State be built up into that? Sure. But, and they've kind of been lost in the whole conference reshuffling, and, they're with some schools that they're way bigger than usually. But they're also not as big as the next tier of schools. So I don't know. I don't see how it makes sense. Smash the like button, Camille. I appreciate that. The newspapers in the background. Yeah, they're okay. Some Giants titles over there. Yeah, I could do without those. I wish there was a different backdrop over there, but it's not my office. Vinny Green, shout out from NYC, bro. Thank you, Vinny, for being here on a Saturday on the live chat. What former A's do I want to see win the World Series? Well, considering that the Padres are my National League team because of Bob Melvin, he's a former A. He's not a player, and they have Sean Manaea too. And oh man, am I dissing the Mets? Am I dissing Atlanta? Do I not want to see Matt Olson win a World Series? Or up with the Mets, Mark Canha or Starling Marte, Chris Bassett. I'm picking all National League teams here, aren't I? So some of them would be nice. You want me to say Chappie? I'll say Chappie too. That's fine. I'm good with any of them, honestly. I realize for the A's, this season is what it is. They're not making the playoffs. They're not winning a World Series. None of that's happening, so you might as well pick somebody else to root for. And root for Howard Terminal with all the energy we have. Any thoughts about Curtis's son, Garrett, being drafted by the Jets? Yeah, not to give the secret away, but maybe in the near future we get Garrett here on the YouTube channel, maybe Curtis too, to talk about that experience. It was not a surprise at all that Garrett got drafted. 99th overall by the Winnipeg Jets. But not surprising, but still equally like cool when it happens. And to know who drafted you and when they drafted you, and it's a prideful thing for him, Garrett. It's a prideful thing for Curtis, his wife Amy, everybody involved with the Browns and the Junior Sharks. It's very cool. Very cool. Nicholas with a great question. Why do I wear a suit for Sharks broadcasts and not for A's broadcasts? Nobody's ever asked me that. And there is a reason. So Nicholas, I'm going to give it to you straight. Baseball is a lot of games in a row every day. And it's not to say we don't have enough suits for that. We do. It's just that we like to take a more casual approach in the summertime. For whatever reason, hockey games, hockey players, they always have suits on. Broadcasters always have suits on. If you watch Glenn Kuiper, Dallas Braden for today's call of the game on TV over there, they just got polo shirts on. And that's fine. It's presentable. We don't need to be all buttoned up every single day of the summer and winter. So, it's not intentional at all. And I will say this too, a lot of times if we're at the ballpark, there's no way besides opening night that maybe we'd want to suit up. Because who anymore wears a suit to the ballpark? I guess who wears a suit to a hockey game either, but that's beyond the point. It's just kind of become the nature of how many games, time of year. Suits still happen when Shooty comes in. And by the way, how I do it is I always let the analyst decide what level of clothing are we going with today. And there's only two, really. Do you want to go full suits, or do you want to go casual, or do you want to go polo? Maybe there's three. Suits, something casual, something polo. Casual would be maybe the jacket still and a button-down shirt, but no tie. Suits is the complete formal look, right? Suit, tie, shoes, all that stuff. But again, I let the analyst decide between Shooty, Bip, and Stu. They all have different desires and preferences. And so I just go with what makes them feel comfortable, because I leave all my clothes here, basically, the clean clothes I have. And so I'm ready for everything every day. But yeah, I'm glad you asked that. I've thought about it. It is a thing, but I never really talked about that before. Don't know anything about the Giants' 5th round pick, and I apologize. Don't know much about the Giants at all, to be honest with you. Am I a fan of esports? I don't. Now that I've played a little bit more on the Xbox in recent times, I find it interesting who would just want to watch me playing the game, or who would want to watch anybody just playing the game. I think the esports has to come with some personality and some character. It can't just be just playing a game. I don't know. I find that hard to spectate, but I understand a lot of people do it. All right. Let me see here. What's the next legal step in the Howard Terminal project? EIR approval, no, that's been done in the past. The next big step is for a development agreement to happen between the A's and the City of Oakland, and then for a binding vote on that by the Oakland City Council. And we're looking at the fall for that to happen. That is the next step. Thoughts of the Chris Townsend interview with Matt Chapman? I saw a small clip of it. I only saw one clip. So if there was something I missed, I can't speak to it, because I literally only saw like one soundbite. Papa always comes suited. That's not true. He rocks the polo here and there. The other thing is, on TV, I don't want to always come across as, Mr. News Anchor Man. You're watching sports. We want to be comfortable here in your house. We want you to be comfortable with us on your screen. And I know people are accustomed to seeing males in suits over the years, but we're just trying to modernize it a little bit. It's a little bit too buttoned up all year long for baseball, at least. Not sure if I already touched on it, but what are my thoughts on city council voting no on a public vote? Autocorrect, I think, got you there, Jimmy. Public vote, you mean? Look, it's weird to ever say, I don't want the public voting, right? That goes against what all of us think and know, right? You want the public to have the opportunity when the situation is right to vote on things. But this is such a different beast and project. And the reason why a vote would be pushed is because people are already confused about what's happening here. The decision makers are not. The people who have been tasked to make this decision, they're not confused by it yet. They don't have all the details on it, but they're not confused by it. They have the resources of their staff and the city to answer all the questions, to really comprehend this. And it is a difficult proposal, right? It's complex. It's not difficult. It's multifaceted, multi-layered. There's a lot to it. But when you understand it, it's beneficial. My issue here is that not everybody understands it, and that's not their fault either. In that council meeting, a lot of people went out of their way, the council members, to say that, our voters are not dumb. We're not saying, nobody's dumb. They can make a well executed decision. I agree with that, but here's the problem. They can't make that decision unless they've been properly, at least, informed on what's going on here. And to this point, only harsh opponents of the project have been the loudest. And so that's what some people are hearing right now, is only that loudest voice, and they're being confused by new taxes. No, it's not new taxes. There's going to be more properties to tax because of Howard Terminal, right? If you live in Oakland or you work in Oakland, this will not affect you one bit. If you have nothing to do with Howard Terminal, your taxes are not changing, not going up because of this. If you buy a property at Howard Terminal, then yeah, you're going to pay tax on it just like anybody else would in a new project. And that increase is what's going to help the city and the county over many decades. So again, the public vote would have been a confused general public on this process. And not to mention that the vote was, as city staff said, the vote was kind of poorly worded in a sense of what are we even actually voting on here? Like, is this a good idea or not? They don't even have, they can't even say what the deal is yet because it's not official. It's not even out there. So what are you voting yes or no on? Anyway, let me take a couple more and then I actually have to run because we're getting late in the game. I've got to do a little seventh inning appearance and then get ready for the post game. The Padres fan base is horrible. They're A's haters. You bore the brunt of this a couple years back at Petco. All right. So you've got personal experience. Look, fans are fans. I get it. I'm just saying I'm a big Bowmel fan. What can I say? It's probably the only way that it needs to be put. All right. Yeah, and putting the vote on the ballot would have cost Oakland money. Yeah, it was just unnecessary. And I think, 2 council members supported it. Literally everybody else did not support it. So it was refreshing to at least see that, how it played out was probably accurate of how it should play out. So, all right. I wish, Vinny. Do I drink a beer during the game? I wish. I'd probably be better in the post-game show. I probably would. At least I would think I'm funnier. Don't know much about the Giants. I don't. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful at all, but I don't pay my current role, my current job does not demand that I know anything about them. So I just keep it that way. And Felix, I'm so glad you mentioned this. Thank you for bringing this up. Really cool that the Sharks drafted Reese Laubach, who is a San Jose native and is a San Jose Shark Junior alumni. I've known Reese's dad. for a handful of years now through Curtis Brown. He's in the roofing business. Helped the Brazil family out a handful of years back, but that is so cool. I totally agree. And I think there's a very short list of California-born NHLers who were drafted by a California NHL team. I think the list is maybe 5 to 6 total in all the years. So very cool. Congratulations, Reese. I know the Laubach families, yeah. It's got, how pumped. I mean, to get drafted at any respect, but especially to be a junior Shark at one point and then be drafted by the Sharks, that's icing on the cake. And I hope that great story turns into another great story of him, progressing through the system and making it someday. Wouldn't that be something? Okay. I think with that, it may be time for me to roll on out. I hope everybody has a great rest of the Saturday. Be safe out there. Probably do some more, maybe some more live streaming tomorrow, something like that. Let me get the beats going here. I gotta play you out with something. See, I wasn't totally prepared for this. All right. Okay, where am I? Bring that back up. See, this is why on real television, there's like 20 people behind the scenes. So I didn't have to just start music, load up the live camera, switch it around here. I mean, I can do all this. I got the Stream Deck for it, which is great. But when it's a one-man operation, this is how it goes. All right. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you next time. See ya.